Hafide everyone and Biba Mes Chamorro. I'm Becky Tobis and I am the Crafty Chamarita. And for those of you who may be unfamiliar with me, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Guam. And so every Friday at 12 o'clock, I come to you live. And if you adjust the time, it's about 6 or 7 Pacific time. Today I'm a little bit late. Like an hour late. Please forgive me for those of you who are trying to tune in live. I was a good daughter this morning and I took my mom to her doctor's appointment and it ran longer than we anticipated. So that's why I'm coming to you a little bit late. So whether you're watching me live right now or you're catching me on the replay, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking time out of your hectic schedules. So it's March now, which means that celebration is over. I just wanted to remind all of you, I sent it out in my newsletter, but you are able to redeem your points next week. And if you just, when we're doing your next order, there'll be a little prompt saying how much you get in your, am I saying this right? Yeah. Okay, I'm not quite sure. I better stop there because I think I might be confusing myself with the demonstrators, what we're able to get. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I think that was just for demonstrators. Oops. So today what I'm going to be showing you is one of the stamp sets that I fell in love with the minute I saw it. And it's called the Faith Collection. And I'm pairing it with the Everyday Arches so that you could see the beautiful cards that it makes. All right, so let me go ahead and flip to my down screen, to my workspace so that you could see what I'm talking about. And let me put on my eyes. All right, so the Faith Collection looks like this. It is a bundle, so it does come with stamps and dies together. And then I'm using the Everyday Arches because I really love the arches and I love the fact that they are layering. So I'm using that together. All right, so let me go ahead and put all of my stuff that I'm going to need for my card here. And I'll be honest with you, I envision how I want this card to look like, but I haven't made it yet, right? So I'm crossing my fingers that everything works out. So before I do anything else, I think I'm going to do my cutting, at least for the arches, so that you could see how it's going to look like. So in the layering arches here, I've got the biggest one, which is what I'm using. And then I'm using not the next one down, but 2 down, and I'm using that. I think that gives enough space for the image to show. All right, so let me grab this. I'm bringing my machine over. This thing is heavy. All right, so I'm going to use Night of Navy to cut the biggest arch. And if you saw my tip from a couple weeks ago, just like when you're using the frame, even the arches, when you cut it, try to have an even space like this and do it in the middle so that when you're done, you can actually use this outside piece later on for another card. And we don't want any of those things to go to waste, right? So try to cut your cardstock and then die cut your image in a way that you can use it later on. Sorry, everything's shaking when I do this. Don't freak out with the noise. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'm also going to cut my second arch, because I need this one to be cut before I start doing what I'm going to be doing. And just like I told you with the earlier piece, so this is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, the standard front size for our card. So I'm just going to try to put it here in the middle so that I can maximize the usage of the outside frame. And if you guys are watching, whether it's live or a replay, please leave a comment because I love to see what you have to say about what I'm making, or just a chit chat, you know. Both of them are fine. Okay, I'm going to move this away. I'm going to bring it back a little bit later, but I need this piece. So let me put that there. Let me put the plates where I can find it later on. I forgot to get my sheet out, so I'm just going to grab one of my sheets that I have on the side. I'll just fold it so it doesn't look so yucky. You know what I do? Every time I have my classes and I have this grid paper that I use, I don't throw it away. So I end up just using it for me later on, because it still works out fine. And I don't want, although I can do this on the glass mat, I don't want to hassle with cleaning it up after, especially when, you know, I don't want to waste your time. So I'm going to do it on my paper. This is boho blue. This is one of the colors that will be going away. See, I wasn't paying attention to what I'm doing, but it's okay. I didn't make too much of a mistake. Okay, let me take out the piece that I wanted to talk to you about. So one of the die cut pieces looks like this. It actually die cuts this image here, and this is perfect for doing masking work. So I already die cut the piece here. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a little tip that I use. I like to mark the top of my die so that when I'm going to die cut it, I don't have to keep flipping around to see which is the correct orientation. I already know that this is going to be the top of, this is the top of the image because I put a permanent marker there. So that's a little tip that I think works out well. The only problem is I'm not sure. Let me see if I can figure this out. If this is going to be straight. If it's not, oops, right? Okay. Oh, see what I'm doing? Okay. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. So I'm going to put this down here because I'm going to mask. I'm just going to double check that it's the right orientation. I'd hate to do this and then find out later on it's upside down. That would not be fun. I'm just going to secure it with washi tape on the bottom, but I'm going to hold it so that it stays in place. And I'm just going to color around the die cut image. Or not image, the die cut piece. Okay. And because the cross is going to be in the middle, I would say you don't have to use a whole lot of color. You want to just kind of keep it on the light side. Okay, and then I'm just going to see if I can carefully remove that. I'm just going to put it on the other side. You don't have to have the washi tape there. If you just want to use your hand to secure it, then that's fine too. Oh, yep, I got a clump there. I'm just pressing too hard. In my excitement to show you these cards, I tend to press harder than I think I need to. Okay, so I've got that done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my image. So for this, I'm going to use, oh, it was supposed to be Night of Navy. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong one. I got Blueberry Bushel and I meant to get Night of Navy. Okay, let me ink it up. And I hope I have this aligned. Okay, not bad. That's going to go inside of it. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stamp my cross. Because I'm going to die cut the cross. I'm actually going to cover that cross here. And I'm going to use my pecan pie. This one also has a die that you can put in the middle of it. And I've done that with the other cards. I'm just not going to do it right now. But if you end up, you know, let me show you what I'm talking about. So with this card here, I die cut the top part, and I have to do a confession. So when I did this, the white underneath showed, and then the brown stripe showed like this. And I showed it to my daughter. So excited. I said, look at my card. What do you think? She goes, Mom, it looks like a zebra. It looks like a zebra stripe. So what I ended up having to do is I colored in the brown spot so it doesn't look like a zebra. So a word to the wise here, if you end up putting the die cut on the white, don't do it unless it's like another color that's not brown or black, because it's going to look like zebra stripes. So I'm going to use the brown here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm going to die cut, so I can just do that now. Okay, let's put this here. You guys know me. When I start putting stuff in front of me, then I lose it, even though it's in front of me on the table. So this is what I'm talking about. So this one cuts out really small die cut pieces inside. It has the cross, the shape of the cross, but then the inside is cut out. Okay, I'm going to grab my machine. Okay, and just to make sure it doesn't move, because this one's a little bit smaller, I'm just going to put my washi tape. Hi, Anne. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're able to catch me live. Have you made the big move yet? Okay, let's move this aside. And I don't know if you've gotten the Faith collection, but this is perfect. As I was mentioning, or when you see my description of the video, it's perfect because we're in the season of Lent right now, and Easter's just right around the corner. But this stamp set is not just for Easter. You can also use it for inspirational cards. You can use it for just thinking of you. You can even use it as a sympathy card. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. Wait. Feels like it's already coming off. And because I want the ends to have a little bit of support, I'm going to put 2 small ones here. Oops. Yes, started unpacking craft supplies. So you moved. All right. Oh man, it must have been so hard for you to live without your crafting supplies. So I'm glad you're able to start unpacking that so that you can play with all your new toys and goodies. Sal, hi. Thank you for watching. Yes, I'm glad that you finally got to watch me live as well. Sal, I don't know if you were part of Charter Day, but my daughter came home and she's like, there were so many people and it was so hot. Everyone was looking for, it's always hot in Charter Day. Everyone was looking for drinks. Okay. Yep. So this one is not quite straight. You can see it, but it's okay. I'm just going to go with the flow. And I think before I assemble it onto my card base, I'm just going to add my little flowers here. And I'm just going to color it in Daffodil Delight. Now you can choose to stamp these and then die cut them. I'm just going to stamp them. And then I think I'll put one here. All right, and then now I'm going to assemble my card. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Stampin' Up! Is going to be raising prices in the new annual catalog. So the price of like the cardstock is going to go up, and then the number of pieces is going to go down. So it's going to go from 40 pieces to 24. So if you need colored cardstock, then I suggest you get it before the new catalog goes live. And that will happen, I should know this, it's going to happen in May. I can't remember the exact date though. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And the sentiment that I chose to use is thinking of you. So this one can be used for, as I mentioned, it can be used for a sympathy card. I'm making a lot of sympathy cards right now because there's a big request for them. So right now I'm in the middle of doing tropical cards for Mes Chamorro and sympathy cards because several customers have asked for it. It's a little bit sad, you know, when you open the paper and you see all the obituaries. I guess that's just the byproduct of us getting older. That means the people we know and love are getting older as well. All right. I need this to go up a little bit more. Okay. That's what I love about the Tombow glue, which is why I prefer to use it. It's because it has a little bit of wiggle room. So if you make a mistake, it's really easy to just shift it around a little bit. Oh, let me make sure I have enough space for this before I put it down. Cardinal rule is figure out where it's going to go before you use your adhesive. All right. So that's my card. Okay. This is it using the masking technique. It's a little bit off, but I think if I didn't tell you that, maybe you wouldn't have seen it, right? Okay. And then this is the card that I showed you earlier. This one I used boho blue, and then I used garden green. And then the sentiment here is let your faith be bigger than your fear. So that's kind of like an encouragement card, right? And here's another one. I used garden green and the white. And then what I did was I stamped and I die cut the flowers. And then I put he is risen. So this is obviously going to be an Easter card. And then the last card I wanted to show you, it's not a great card, but I'm going to show you anyway, because I want you to see that we have to play around. The only way we know if something's going to work is to play with it, right? So that's what I did. So I wanted to make this look like stained glass. So first, my original thought was to put the acetate on top, but then the acetate didn't really show. I was using light colors, and then I realized, okay, I need to make the colors darker. And by the way, these are alcohol markers. So you can color on acetate paper with the alcohol markers, right? But my stained glass didn't quite look like stained glass. And then it was too dark to put on top of the cross. So I had to put the cross on top of the stained glass, you know, kind of like I'm looking at it as if you're looking at it from the altar like this, you know, and you have the crucifix there, and then you have the stained glass behind it, right? So it works that way as well. I think I am going to play around with this some more and try to master it, because I really want to use the stained glass, right? Tune in a bit late. Is a stamp set an online exclusive? Yes, it is. So the Faith Collection is an online exclusive. I think the Everyday Arches are as well, but I'm not sure. Right? And the online exclusive, the new ones just came out a couple of days ago. So it should be available to everybody. Right? All right. So you see how when you pair the two together, right? I think it just makes really pretty cards. Kind of like when you're in church, because the church has a lot of the arches in them, right? Okay. All right. That's it for me for today. I'll be back next week, Friday. Sorry, I'm hot. I don't know if you can see me sweating, but you know, I don't know if it's the lights or just me. I get so excited, then I get hot. So next week, Friday, I'll be back and I'll be showing you more stamp sets and more cards that you can make. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.